I don't think I can do this, mate. I don't think... Can you do it again? Show me again. We'll work on it later, Peter. I know you really like doing the robot, and I want to learn to do the robot too, so that when we're promoted, I can celebrate with it. But we've got a live com double header today, everyone. What am I? Why am I trying to learn to robot 2 huge games? Oh my word! Let's do this. What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Park to Prem. It's episode number 4 here with Lincoln City. Today we have the final 2 league games of the season. A game against Bradford, which could well decide our playoff fate, before the final game of the season against Northampton, who were the team you may remember way back when we played in our first ever game in charge. A chance for us to see how far we've come. Since you were last here, we've only played 3 matches, but you can see, looking at the league table here, incredibly close at the top, and I needed to come back today to make sure of the job. I didn't want to be in a situation where we missed out on the playoffs. I come back at the end of the season, admit, yeah, I didn't live com either of the last 2 games because I thought we would be fine, and we end up finishing outside the top 7. So to save face, I thought double header today, 2 live coms for the price of 1, a little bit of a teaser, I guess a taster perhaps even for the playoff semi-finals, which will hopefully be tomorrow, barring any massive balls up. And yeah, Bradford should be a good little test for us because they're a team right on the fringes of the playoffs as things stand. Anyway, since you were last here, we've played 3 matches in fact in the league. 2 wins though, which is where the number 2 was coming from, and 2 is actually a number of goals we've conceded far too often. The first game after the result against Wycombe last episode was against Exeter. We won this one 5-2, a good little performance. Great to see Cons at centre-back get a goal. Taylor Richards also got a goal. Unfortunately for us, he also got injured for a very long time since you were last here. He may be back for the playoffs. It might be a bit touch and go for the semi-finals, but he's been a really good player for us. His average ratings are superb. Of course, in the latest version of Football Manager, average ratings are a little bit funky, like they're just really low. So it's difficult to judge players sometimes, and especially if a player has an average of above a 7, that's almost like better than a 7.4 based on the old scaling. Hopefully it's something Sports Interactive will address soon. And well, one player who definitely got above a terrible average rating in the game against Accrington was Mamadou Fall. Yes, remember this guy? Yeah, doubted him, criticised him, said maybe he wasn't good enough. He got a hat-trick here. He's really good, isn't he? 25 goals, 4 assists, 6 player of the matches. He's had a pretty blooming good season. Not bad for a player the previous Lincoln boss signed for £8,000. Unfortunately, he could do nothing to stop top of the table Rochdale beating us in our most recent game. A win here would have been able to really cement our playoff credentials, but at home against a team who are running away at the top of the table, we couldn't put up a fight. And in fact, they hoisted the trophy aloft, the Champions Trophy, in our stadium. They had the trophy ceremony and everything. I absolutely hated it. I'm hoping it's lit a fire inside our players' belly. And well, maybe, just maybe, we can go out and use that energy today, just 3 days later against Bradford. So yes, hopefully today we are going to be fine. Hopefully today we are going to get a good result against Bradford, and it's not going to be a stressful end to the season. Maybe even an opportunity to rotate things around for the final game, which will give you a chance to see some other players in the squad. But as things stand right now, I'm relatively happy with the direction we're going in. Taylor Richards being out injured means that Glatzel has had a little bit of a run out on the left-hand side. Of course, he is left-footed and he can play a whole host of positions in the attacking mid and centre-mid positions. Although he looks really tailored to be a striker, at this level he can definitely do a job out on the wing. He's been playing there a little bit for us. I can't say he's been this super standout performer, but he's done fine. He's going to get a chance there again today. You'll notice that Cumming in goal is still holding down his spot. At the back, Addons is still in at right back. However, James Brown, who I think you can make a pretty compelling case for being better than Addons, is coming back from injury. You can see here he is in green. He got injured just as we took over the team, James Brown, so I never really got a chance to see him play. He's coming in at a really good point to kind of get fit. And although he's a little bit away, I feel like from being able to play 90 minutes twice in the space of 3 days, he's a player who is slowly getting bedded back into the first team. And so to have him back for the playoffs could be really huge. You'll notice that Cons and Quanta at the back apparently haven't been doing well together. I'm determined to persist with it. I'm determined just to ignore it and see how it goes. As I mentioned before, the average ratings at the moment in Football Manager are a little bit funky, so I feel like you have to take them with a grain of salt. Whilst we are conceding a fair few, I don't feel like it's been any glaringly obvious individual errors from our centre-back, nor Ruffin down at left-back. We've looked good all in all. I really like our back line. I think we've got a defence that's good enough for this level right now. You'll notice in midfield it is White and Finney playing alongside each other. I have been giving Yolo some games, trying to get him some first-team football, help him develop along. Of course, we don't need to rush this guy in. Whilst we did spend some pretty big money on him to pry him away from Boston, he's not a player who I feel massively pressured to start right away. Would rather he take it slow, develop nicely, not get injured unnecessarily, and chip in with the odd performance when he needs to. Olomola's been pretty good out on the right-hand side. Definitely deserves a little mention, this guy, actually. 10 goals to his name, although one of those is from the penalty spot. He's not exactly the ideal player, I feel like, for this level out on the right-hand side. He's more naturally a striker, but despite his lack of crossing, he's put in some good performances out on the right wing. That is where he's going to play today. And then up top, we've got Thomas and Farl. I've already talked about Farl. Let's talk about Thomas, shall we? I still don't know what to make of this guy. He, by all accounts, he's not my kind of player. If you're inconsistent, if you're injury prone, not someone I would normally play or persist with, but it's undeniable he's putting in some really good performances and banging in goals, which, well, sadly can't be said for Mark Cooper. Despite me persisting with him, he's yet to find his first goal at the club, suffering from a similar lack of confidence perhaps to the lack of confidence he felt at Boston. Bit of money spent on him for a player who's not scored yet, but going to remain patient, going to remain cool. Marky Cooper, if you're going to score, mate, maybe save it for the playoffs at this point. Maybe that's the route to take. But anyway, let's submit our team for this first game. A win here really could cement the playoff spot, which obviously would be the dream. It would also open up the opportunity just to rotate the team a little bit, play some players who perhaps I've not given enough first-team opportunities to over the course of this league season. I feel like I've kind of, much like at Boston, developed a starting 11 that I'm quite fond of, and then I found it difficult to deviate from that. And the few times where I have experimented, I feel like it's come back to bite me. But anyway, away from home against Bradford, this is not an easy game by any means. Keep a close eye on the league table down in the bottom left. A defeat here is disastrous. A draw leaves us with a little bit to do in the final game of the season against Northampton. A win here, we should be fine. Let's just win it. Let's just win it. I don't want to list out all the different possibilities and permutations of how the league season can end. We just need to play at our best. Quanta on a booking does scare me. Have they got a free man at the back post here? Okay, they've shot, so it's fine. They had an extra man there. If he'd crossed that, their free kick taker could have been in a little bit of trouble, which I'm not a massive fan of seeing. I'll level with you. Anyway, they've got a throw in deep in our half. It's going to be cleared away by Quanta in the end. Thomas tries to get under it, but can't win it. Big ball forward, he comes to collect it, and he grabs it with ease. Rolls it out to Quanta. Can we build from the back now? Quanta goes, no, this is non-league football we're playing, lumps it straight to them. Not what you want to see from your centre-backs, nor that from our other centre-back, as Hector Ingram was let through. Luckily for us, the keeper's made a huge stop. Also, I realised we were just zoomed out a little bit. There's zoom in, everyone. Enhance. Wood is going to be stood over it for them here. Whips it in. Oh, I thought we'd given away a penalty, and I was about to be very upset. But the good news for us is it's a free kick our way. There's that heart-in-mouth moment in Football Manager as the game stops, as it pauses, where you think, oh my word, is that a penalty? No, not on this occasion. Ball whipped in, fouls under it, straight into O'Donnell's hands. But finally, seeing us on the attack is, well, a bit of a relief. We've not done nearly enough of that so far in this half. Only 25 minutes gone though, plenty of time for us to settle into this game. We might have a chance here. Thomas takes it down well, gives it to Farl. Options in the middle, including White. Falls to Glatzel, oh my word, that was a weird goal. But Paul Glatzel, I really like Glatzel. I think he's more than good enough for this level and potentially League One. His performances don't show it, but you know what? Third goal of the season. If there's a time to start coming into form, if there's a time to start scoring, I would say at this point in the season, it's probably a pretty good time for it to start to happen. Of course, playing out on the left wing today rather than as a striker, but because of the way we play, where we play super narrow in attack, he will find himself in these central areas that allow him, I suppose, to use his striking instinct. 35 minutes gone though, and the goal scorer, he's getting involved again here. Now with Cons, goes to White, options to the right. Will he go to them? No, he picks out Thomas. Lovely ball through. Thomas, what a lovely finish that is. Goal number 5 for the Welshman. And, well, goal number 2 for us this game. We're looking good, everyone. This is the kind of performance I want to see. I was really curious to see how we might react to that previous defeat against Rochdale, because that was pretty wretched. I can breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief. Of course, the final game of the season will still have some weight to it, because it could determine seeding and whether or not we're playing a better team or a worse team. So, whilst I do want to rotate the team, there is perhaps a small incentive, not to rotate the team too massively and to really play for the win against Northampton. I say that like this game is said and done. Look, it's only 2-0. We can't get too ahead of ourselves, especially because they are on the attack. Wood whips it in. Free header Malcolm. He was in the middle. He was free. He's not the boss of me now. And he is quite big. He's won the header there. It's 2-1. Ball was worked nicely, to be fair, by Bradford. Caught us a little out of position. The ball in here. Do you expect someone to deal with it? Yes, is the simple answer to that one. Quanta watched it. I don't know if it's really his responsibility. Someone just has to take charge in that situation. And unfortunately for us, in a half that we've not really had a great deal of possession in, but we've had plenty of chances, our 2-goal lead is halved. I'm going to tell the players I'm not happy. Overall, a good reaction. I feel like at Boston, I was a good cop. I was nice. I would praise the lads. I would tell them, even if it was 1-0, oh, you've played amazingly. Here at Lincoln, there's been a bit of bad cop come out of me. I'm a bit more angry. Only 2-1 at the break. I expect more from you. Yeah, I don't know, more demanding, more needy, perhaps. Maybe it's the experience as a manager kicking in. Anyway, the ball is going to be whipped in here. We need to be careful because we're coming up to an hour gone here, and Bradford feel like they're really getting a grip on this game as they knock the ball around nicely. That passing play is superb. That finish is mad. Jamal Hector Ingram shoots from range, finds the back of the net. Bit annoying how good that finish was. That was a nuts goal. The passing around, you thought it was going to be like, a crafted opportunity that the highlight would result in. But no, it's just a long shot that gets lashed in. I don't think Cumming can take any of the blame there. He's tried to get across, bless him, but yeah, no chance. I think with an hour gone, it's time to make some changes. Fowler's apparently got a head injury, so we'll take him off and we'll bring in Marky Cooper. Maybe this is his chance to get his first goal. You've got 18 finishing, mate. You've got to start finishing one eventually. You know what? We'll also bring in YOLO as well for Finney, who's not had his best day at the office. And I think it's also time to shout demand more. We were 2-0 up in this game. We were in cruise control. And, well, having taken our 2 chances, we've not looked very good going forward. And, well, I don't want to alarm anyone. Time is ticking away here. We now have a corner to deal with. It's whipped back post. Quanta heads it away. Imagine if we bottle a 2-goal lead to lose 3-2. Not like this. Stop it, Football Manager. Away! Okay, Cumming has saved that one. But it's not the highlights I want to see, is it? Let's be frank here. 8 minutes left. I'm going to go with an encourage. Look at that. A positive reaction. Will we see anything on the pitch as a result of it? I'm going to go very attacking. I have no regard for human life. Sadly for us, it's going to result in a draw. And, I mean, it could be worse. But I think that leaves us with a little molehill to navigate over. Not a mountain. It's not a mountain we've got to get over. It's not like Mount Everest is in the way. But yeah, there is a molehill to get over. This is not done yet. Realistically, the only team that could surpass us is AFC Wimbledon. They currently have superior goal difference but are 3 points behind us. The league does use goal difference as the differential maker. So whilst it would take a little bit of a disaster for us to finish down in 8th, it's possible. We're going to have to be at our best. Northampton, our final opponent of the season. We've got a week to recoup, rejuvenate and go again. And, Farl had a head injury. Now he's bruised it. I think he just didn't want to play. He had a head injury, but apparently it's now a bruised ankle. Answers on a postcard. I'm going to take him to the doctors. I'll be back in 7 days. Northampton at home. Final game of the season. Let's make sure we get in the playoffs, shall we? So before we get into the second game of today's episode, I need to talk about 3 signings that we've made. I can't believe I forgot to mention these in the first half because they're all pretty exciting in their own little way. One familiar name though, which is always nice. But let's go through the 2 less familiar players first. The first we have is Gary Garbutt. He's joining us from Manchester United. His contract is expiring at the end of the year. They have announced that he is to depart. My scouts like him. I like him. I felt like he was worth trying to pick up on a free transfer, even if he's not the quickest of players. He has only just turned 18, professional personality. I mean, it's such a low-risk signing, I think it's worth making. I guess the other signing by comparison, not quite as low risk. A player who was actually on my radar earlier on this year when I was Boston manager, Luke Rumble. He was playing for Stockport in the Vanarama National North, and as you can see here, he's got 21 assists and 5 goals. This guy has been playing very well a couple of levels below us. He was actually in the England under-19s team, but wasn't given a cap. But I think when you look at him, you can kind of see what kind of player he is. He has a lot of potential. He's only just turned 18, fairly professional personality. Just a player who I figured, you know what, for £200,000, it's not a cheap buy by any means, but I think it's a smart buy, the kind of player that hopefully we can turn into a little bit more money down the line. And last but not least, a similar player actually to Rumble for a similar price, £15,000 more spent on Callum Green. I'm going to be honest with you, I wish that I'd been able to sign this guy in January, but it wasn't possible to do at the time. He just didn't want to talk to us. Of course, we signed him for Lincoln from it's not, I got told how to say this in the comments, and I can't remember how the Scottish people told me to say it. What is it, a Wasp, a Hornet, or a bee they have on their badge? This is how I'm going to... what is that? It looks like a jacked ass bee. We'll go with a bit... If it might be a wasp. Answers on a postcard. The Wasp team. We signed him for £4,000 from them for Boston United. He looks incredible. So I decided, you know what? £200,000. Let's take a punt. Let's take a risk. Worst comes to worst, we're probably going to be able to sell him on for a little bit of money. I think he's a really, really good option to have as central attacking mid. But what I am thinking is that we may need to change our formation and shape kind of going into next season. So anyway, let's worry about that later because he's not going to be here until the end of the summer anyway. And let's get into today's game. We're taking on Northampton just as a little refresher as to how the league table looks. We currently sit in 5th. A draw is enough. A win should be enough. Well, no, a win would be enough. We can't actually go any higher, but a win would guarantee us 5th. A defeat... 8th is a possibility. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. Let's get the job done here. In terms of the team for today's match, I'm actually going to start Cooper over Thomas, purely because Thomas is in on loan, and whilst his goal-scoring form is good, probably isn't going to be here next year. And Marky Cooper needs to get a goal. This is mission Marky, get a goal. That's what today's video is all about. Let's see if he can get one. Come on, boys. Let's do this. Let's get a win. Let's guarantee ourselves... Well, let's guarantee ourselves a playoff spot, and then let's just get into it tomorrow. That's what today is all about. Are we going to be able to do it? Shall we find out? Let's find out. I'm reeling off the fact I've referred to that Scottish team as the Wasp team. I think I was calling it a lower before, and it's more a lower, not a lower. I don't know. I'm gonna level with you. I don't actually know. Anyway, as you can see here, it's a big game. It's on TV, so we've got fancy graphics. Northampton have won one of their last 5. They've lost the other 4. They're playing 5 at the back. It's like they're playing for the draw. I guess for them, it's about... I was about to say it's about staying where they are. They can't actually drop down any positions, but I guess they're just content with 18th. But no, let's get into this. Second game of today. Let's just make this as simple and as straightforward as it can be. That's what we want here. Early goal would be lovely. Early goal would be lovely. White hits it. Collected by Chapman, though, very well. And, of course, we will have our eye fixated in the bottom left at that league table as Quansah headers it against the crossbar. Cooper's there. Don't shoot from there, Cooper. I know he needs the goal, but that's not the place to do it. Nor the time. Anyway, we've got another set piece here. Where's Quansah's forehead? You can just spot Quansah because he's just bigger than everyone else. That's why we brought him in for the goals. Anyway, they're looking to hit us on the break. That's a great tackle. That is the best kind of tackle you'll see by a low molar. I'm still useless with the name Low Molar. You might have noticed Isaac has just been nicknamed Isaac now. He sat on the bench. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. Nothing's really happening. They're playing 5 at the back. A draw is fine for us. A draw, and we get a playoff spot. So I'm not going to complain. Just more, if you want to keep playing like this, Northampton, if you want to be boring, I'm happy for us all to be boring. That is perfectly fine with me. And, well, I didn't actually mean it, but it's now quickly approaching half-time. They've not had a shot on target. They've had 1 shot total. We finally got another highlight, everyone. Is there a late goal before half-time? Of course, we will hope that it goes in our favour if there is to be one. Ball forward, foul. I mean, he's never going to win it in the air. You're always hoping he's going to run onto that kind of ball. Didn't on this occasion, but he's got the ball at his feet. Glatzel with it. Could he make it 2 goals in 2 today? I wouldn't complain about that. White to Fal, hits it. Lovely goal. Love that. Goal number 28 for Fal. He's blooming good, isn't he? He's blooming good. He's blooming quick. And we're 1-0 up. And we deserve to be 1-0 up. Northampton have not tried here. I was hoping that this game might be a chance to see the progress that we've made. I feel like Northampton tried the first time we played them. It's like they've realised they've avoided relegation and just gone on to the beach now. You know, they don't care where they finish in the bottom half of the table. Anyway, at the break, it's going to be 1-0. Let's give some words of encouragement here. I'm delighted. Don't balls it up like last time. I realised that last match was the one time where I've kind of been more negative towards the players and then we ballsed it up. Maybe I should have praised us at 2-1 up. Maybe I should have just been more positive. Maybe good cop is the way to treat this team. Anyway, Wren bringing the ball forward for them. Let's be scared here. Let's be worried. Let's be alert. Mick Williams with the ball. Plays it to Scotty Pollock. There's a name I recognise. Edwards whips it in. Wren's there. Did the keeper save that? No, it's just a miss. Oh, no. Yeah, no, it was a goal. I thought Wren might have hit it on target then. The keeper saved it. But actually, Cumming didn't even need to touch it. Shot goes wide of the mark. An hour gone. Cooper, can you please score? That would be lovely. We're going to bring in Isaac out on the right-hand side and see what he can do for us. A few fresh legs there. And I think we'll do the classic sub. YOLO, come on down. Come on for Finney. Show us what you're made of. And that's what we need to do. Give him some game time. Also, Cooper, I don't want to... I shouldn't throw him under the bus. I shouldn't, put him under more pressure. I need goals, mate. I've spent almost £200,000 on you to be the backup striker of our dreams. 18 finishing, I thought. 15 off the ball, I thought. 12 composure. You think at this level, that should be insane, but he's been useless for us. I'm saying all this hoping that having tried to be kind to him, maybe just berating him in a live comm is what's needed. Anyway, Glatzel with the ball, bringing it inside. Where is he going to go? He's going to go, well, nowhere. He's going to give away the ball, but we retain possession. That is not the ball that YOLO needed, and Mick Williams is bringing it forward. Cons, huge tackle. Can he get a second one on Edwards? He can't. He plays it square to Rose. It's blocked away. Goes out for a corner. I mean, as long as this remains a one-goal game, I'm going to remain nervous. Even if there is 5 minutes left, I'm going to get shouty. Demand more. Come on, lads. Let's hold on to this. Let's get a win. Let's guarantee ourselves 5th place. Glatzel whips it in. Chapman collects, though, and he never really looked like resulting in a goal, did it? I love the fact that they've gone from playing a 5-4-1 to playing this more attacking version of it with wing-backs. It's not going to matter. I will say, they must have had some mental chances at the end of the game that we just didn't see, but we've got to win. It's pardon my French, it's a bit of a shithouse win, but it's a win nevertheless, and we needed one of those. So we'll take that. 1-0 against Northampton wraps up the league season. Ironically, we could have lost that game and we wouldn't have changed position. If we'd drawn it, yeah, well, we would have ended up in 6th. But we're playing Doncaster anyway, who, well, we played only a few episodes ago. We're getting familiar with Doncaster. I'm looking forward to taking them on in the playoff semi-final. That should be a good game coming your way tomorrow. But anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up everything from me today. A good little pair of results, I suppose. Bit disappointed by the nature of the Bradford result, but the main thing is board expectations for the season achieved. When we came to this club, they sat down in 12th. So to turn things around, to climb the team up, and while ultimately achieve what was expected of us when we took the job, that's kind of the main thing, right? We made the most of set pieces. They're delighted by the players we're signing. We've passed our minimum objective. Things are looking rosy. Hopefully, this upwards momentum that we've had ever since I took over is going to continue into the postseason. And speaking of the postseason, of course, that is what's going to be coming your way tomorrow. Doncaster. No one's ever been so excited about going to Doncaster than I am right now. Looking forward to taking them on. It's going to be a huge game. Oh, we'll see you guys for that. Thank you for watching. It is me, Jack, and I'm out.